Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're cracking open James Clear's Atomic Habits. We're going to find out how these tiny, almost invisible changes, how they can lead to some seriously life-altering results. It's a pretty revolutionary idea, but it's also super simple.
So, let's kick things off with a piece of math that's, honestly, it's so simple, but it's the foundation for this entire book. You know how we tend to just brush off small changes? We think, what's the point? It's not going to make a real difference. Well, the numbers, they tell a very, very different story.
Okay, look at this. If you get just 1% better each day for a single year, you will end up nearly 38 times better than when you started. That's insane, right? It just goes to show you how a tiny, tiny win can snowball into something absolutely massive. But, and this is the really crucial part, look at the flip side. If you get 1% worse each day, you basically decline down to zero. This is the perfect illustration of what Clear's talking about. Habits are literally the compound interest of self-improvement. They multiply over time, whether that's for the good or, for the bad. Here's a great way to think about it. Imagine an airplane taking off from LA headed for New York City. Now, what if the pilot just tweaks the heading by 3.5 degrees south? That's a tiny, tiny change you'd never even notice. But guess what? That plane doesn't land in New York. It lands in Washington, D.C. And our small daily choices, they work in exactly the same way.
So you might be wondering, why do we fail so often when we try to change? Well, the book argues it's because we're focusing on completely the wrong thing. Think of behavior change like an onion, right? It's got layers, and most of us, we start on the outside. And that's exactly where we go wrong.
So we tend to get fixated on the outcomes. I want to run a marathon, or I want to write a book. That's the result we want. But the real secret, the game changer, is to focus on your identity. Who do you want to become? The goal isn't just to do something, it's to be someone. It's about embodying a whole new identity. This is such a powerful shift in thinking, and here's why it works. True, lasting behavior change is identity change. Simple as that. Any improvement you make is just temporary until it becomes a core part of who you actually are.
Okay, you're thinking, how do I actually do this? Well, it's a surprisingly simple two-step process. First, you've got to decide what kind of person you want to be. Then, step 2, you prove it to yourself with small wins. I love this idea. Every single action you take is like casting a vote for the person you're becoming. You're literally building that new identity one tiny habit at a time.
All right, let's get into the good stuff, the practical, hands-on system for actually building these habits. Think of this as the operating manual. It's all broken down into 4 super simple laws that you can apply to literally anything you want to change. So, law number 1 is make it obvious. Here's the deal. Every habit kicks off with a cue, right? A trigger. And our brains are just wired to act on cues that are right there in front of us. So the goal here is to make the triggers for your good habits completely impossible to ignore. And there's this brilliant technique for this called habit stacking. It's so clever. You just link the new habit you want to start with one you already do automatically every day. Like, for instance, after I pour my morning coffee, I will meditate for 1 minute. See? Your coffee habit becomes the perfect trigger for your new meditation habit. Okay, on to the second law. Make it attractive. This one's all about human nature. The more appealing something is, the more likely we are to do it, right? This taps directly into that dopamine-driven feedback loop in our brains, that little chemical hit that makes us want to do something again and again. And a fantastic strategy for this is something called temptation bundling. This is where you pair an action you want to do with an action you need to do. So for example, you only allow yourself to watch your favorite Netflix show while you're on the exercise bike. You're bundling that temptation right along with the habit you're trying to build. Pretty smart, huh? Now for the third law, and it's a super simple one. Make it easy. Look, we're all wired to take the path of least resistance. It's just how we are. So the less friction, the fewer obstacles there are between you and a good habit, the more likely you are to actually follow through and do it. And maybe the most powerful tool for this is the 2-minute rule. Seriously, this is a total game changer. You take any new habit and you scale it down so it takes less than 2 minutes to do. So read every night becomes read 1 page. Run 3 miles? Nope. It becomes put on my running shoes. See, the goal isn't to do everything right away. It's just to master the art of showing up. And that brings us to the final law,
the one that really ties it all together. Make it satisfying. This is like the cardinal rule of behavior change. What is immediately rewarded is repeated. It's that simple. For a habit to really stick, you need to feel some sense of success from it. A super simple habit tracker is perfect for this. Just the act of putting a big X on a calendar. Or, I love this one, moving a paperclip from one jar to another every time you do the habit. It gives you this immediate, visual proof that you're making progress. And let me tell you, that feeling of progress, that's a powerful reward all on its own. Okay, so we've talked a lot about building good habits. But what about the bad ones? How do we get rid of those? Well, the great thing about this whole framework is that we can just flip it on its head. We can invert these 4 laws to start dismantling the habits we want to stop.
It's really straightforward. To break a bad habit, you just do the exact opposite. Instead of making it obvious, you make it invisible. Instead of attractive, you make it unattractive. Instead of easy, you make it difficult. And instead of satisfying, you make it unsatisfying. It's all about creating more friction and making that bad habit less appealing. Now, let's talk about something I think we've all felt. You start a new habit, you're being really consistent, but it just feels like nothing is happening. It can be super frustrating. The book has this brilliant metaphor that explains exactly what's going on here. Just imagine you've got an ice cube sitting in a cold room. Let's say it's 28 degrees, and you start to slowly raise the temperature. 29 degrees, 30, 31. For a while, it feels like all your effort is for nothing. The ice cube just sits there. Nothing changes. But then you hit 32 degrees, and all of a sudden, everything happens. You get the breakthrough. The ice starts to melt. See, all that work, all that energy, it wasn't wasted. It was just being stored up. And this is what James Clear calls the plateau of latent potential. It's a reminder that the biggest results are often delayed. So the really crucial takeaway here is that those big breakthrough moments, they don't just happen because of one single thing you did. No way. They're the result of all those consistent daily actions that came before it. Real success is what happens when your daily habits finally push through that plateau. At the end of the day, Atomic Habits isn't just about hitting one goal. It's a system for a lifetime of getting better, bit by bit. It really proves that the tiniest changes can lead to the most incredible results. And it leaves all of us with one simple but really powerful question to think about. What tiny change, what 1% improvement are you going to make today?